website is www.defendingthebible.com, and I do a presentation called 5 or 6 of the Bible. And I'll be looking at defenders they can relearn who biblical characters are, what they are, what they did, aren't demonical. Within a movie, easy to understand format, using 3D animation, using video clips, and Hollywood stories are made. Other people in Hollywood who come to Christ, and who they are, and what is their story, and it's not just a criticism, if you will, of Hollywood. It's an encouraging thing of presentations in class.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, get in touch with these folks and check it out, and I would encourage you to go to their websites, and I would encourage you also, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I see myself as is a communicator. We communicate here at least 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, but we do our regular scheduled shows at 12 noon D.C. time, and also at 8 p.m., and we try to get information out to you that is beneficial. And I know my producer, Bob Bosworth, saw this, and the title of the press release is Hollywood Needs Sunday School. And being an old Southern Baptist pastor from all my life, I certainly believe in Sunday school, and I certainly believe Hollywood needs a Sunday school. And I want to say thank you to our dear brother, Rick Dack, and I want you to go to his website and check him out. Rick, anything else you'd like to share?
Not really. I guess what I would do is I would, go to see these films, like the upcoming Exodus film, and there's some other films coming out next year as well. But I would really make sure that the Bible is their standard and not what Hollywood puts out. Check it out with Scripture. That's what it means. It encourages people to go back to Scripture as our foundation.
Amen.
It certainly is in Hollywood, and I want to make sure that the clergy are, before they're endorsing, that they're actually watching it really before they endorse it and send it out to the public airwaves for Christians to say, hey, well, this guy says it's good, then I'm good. That's not necessarily the case. Make sure the Bible is your foundation and to read the stories for yourself.
Well, brother, it's you are in the Minneapolis area. Are you on Central Time or Eastern Time there? I've forgotten.
I'm on Central.
Central Time. Okay, well, my show is on in your area. This show is on right now in your area. It came on at 11 o'clock your time, which was 9 o'clock here in California. And we thank you so much for being on with us. By the way, I want to remind you, we'll be live on the air again tonight. That'll be 5 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock your time. And we have almost an entirely different audience at the evening show. So we would welcome you, I don't know if Bob told you, but we would welcome you to call back again tonight, and let's discuss this even further.
How long is that particular interview?
I'm sorry?
How long is that particular program?
It's 1 hour. We're on from, as I said, 11 a.m. to noon your time, and then we're on from 7 p.m. Central Time to 8 p.m. We're on an hour. And so you can call in anytime on this number. This is a live number in the studio or on location. So we welcome you and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Dack, Defending the Bible at usfamily.net. And ladies and gentlemen, you know that we started this television and radio simulcast show 16 years ago, and one of the first things we did was choose an Old Testament scripture and a New Testament scripture for our theme and for our motto, and that's Micah 6:8 and Matthew 23:23, and both of those say, do justice, love mercy, and walk with God. And whether it's a movie or a book or a paper or anything else we invite on this show, Brother Bob and I research, and if it's not somehow rooted in the Bible, then in all honesty, we don't have time for it on our show. And I know that's why Bob got this dear brother, Rick, to come on, because he knew he was based on the Bible and wanting to defend the Bible, because the website, of course, is Defending the Bible at usfamily.net. I like the Bible and I like the family interest there. And I thank you, my brother. God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Our intelligence briefing officer was very patiently waiting. Are you still there?
I'm still here, sir.
All right. Thank you. Well, one of the things I found out many, many years ago, as I said, folks, Brother Roger Angus, we don't know where he's located right now, and if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. But anyway, one of the things I learned many years ago, for almost 7 years, I was a licensed private investigator in the state of Texas and Arkansas and Louisiana. And one of the things I learned very quickly as an investigator is that if you were short on patience and short on weight, you're in the wrong business. And I want to say to Brother Roger, brother, you exemplify that so faithfully. You come on here on such a faithful basis and such a regular basis. And sometimes you have to put up with on location and waiting for someone else. And indeed, that comes with the territory. But go ahead and share anything else you would like to share at this time.
Well, another aspect of our what's going on with guns. State of Texas, the Texas House Bill 195 is totally revamping their not just their concealed carry, but their open carry as well, to not requiring a permit to carry. And there's a couple of states out there that do that, and Colorado allows you to open carry without a permit, but as soon as you cover that up, you've got to have a concealed carry permit, which is makes about as much sense as I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. But at any rate, that's what they're doing.
Well, they're out to get the guns, brother, and you know that, and I know that, and they're going to try to twist the law and change the law. In my case, for example, because California just really did not want me to have a concealed weapons permit, and they did everything they could to stop me, I went ahead and went through a friend of mine who runs a security service and got trained to be a licensed gun-toting security guard. So I could open carry that way. And I also now have concealed weapons permit from several states that have that and will allow me to have it. But they're just wanting to take our guns away. And I subscribe to the Charlton Heston theory, and that is the only way you'll get my gun is when you pry my cold lead fingers from around the stock.
Well, I'm with you on that one. When you go through history and you study history, you see that and I think Benjamin Franklin stated it. When the government fears the people, there's liberty. Or when the people fear the government, there's tyranny. And right now, they're trying to do the tyranny route.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I'll give you one example here locally, and then I'll let you continue with your report. About 2 weeks ago, I went to the city council of Buena Park, my city, and shared with them my concern that there is a situation when you cross the street in Buena Park at a lighted signal, as soon as you push the button, the sign says walk. As soon as you take the first step, 4 seconds later it says don't walk. Now, the police department will tell you that that's okay because the police know that if you're already in the crosswalk, even though it says don't walk, you're allowed to continue and finish your walk across the street. Well, we had an elderly gentleman who couldn't move very fast, and also a great man of God, and he went to the corner, pushed the button, it said walk, he walked, and as soon as he walked, it said don't walk, and by law, he is allowed to continue on across the street, even though it says don't walk. However, a policeman said, I'm going to give you a ticket. You walked on the don't walk. And so did I. I went down there, and I pushed the button, looked at my watch, and 5 seconds later it said don't walk. I was about a third of the way across, and the rest of the way across that 4-lane crossing, it took me a few minutes to get across, and I was illegal. They could have given me a ticket then, according to that policeman's definition. They gave this man a ticket, and I went to city council and appealed that they cut him a little slack, especially those of us that move a little slower and so forth. And I took that to the city council, and coincidentally, I received a letter on the 4th day of November that said the Neighborhood Improvement Program pre-inspection notice is given to you. We're going to come in with the Neighborhood Improvement Program Task Force, with the Buena Park Enforcement Division, Building and Safety Division, Police Department, Fire Authority, Orange County Health Department, and our inspection is intended to identify and correct any life safety hazard. Now, is it coincidental that I complained and that a few days later I get this, hey, we're going to come in and inspect you? I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it was retaliation. And but that's just exactly what they're doing. They're trying to do it, quote, legal, because everybody would say, well, of course you want a safe homeless shelter. You want a safe environment for the people. And we do. We have security. We have all kind of safety. But it's got to be done their way. And so that's just another example of them trying to, quote, use the law to their advantage. So go ahead with your report, brother.
Well, there's we're going to kind of switch subjects and jump over to Islam. Islamic supremacy is a convoluted mindset that all non-Muslims are refugees, deserving of torture, rape, and various forms of violent subjugation. We've seen this specifically with ISIS the last 6 to 8 months over in the Middle East.
Right.
To murder anybody and everybody, beheading 5, 6, 7-year-old kids. And I'm still waiting to hear some kind of a resolution coming out of the United Nations that this isn't, something that is approved by the United Nations, but they have yet to say anything about it at all. But the core tenet of Islam is a barbaric ideology that propounds the dangerous and reckless notion that if you're not Muslim, you're not human. As a matter of fact, their Quran basically teaches that, and it teaches that Islamic supremacy dictates that white women in particular are, excuse my terms, bigger whores and dirtier sluts than most other non-Muslim females. And in a recent report by the British, and this is just mind-blowing what's going on in Britain. 13,000 adolescent white girls have been sexually assaulted in the city of Manchester by Muslim rape gangs over the last 6 years. And the reason it's not reported is because the Muslims claim Islamophobia and racism, so they won't report it.
Yeah.
Now, this, when you study Islam all through history, this is what they do. And this is what they've always done.
Yeah.
And to think that they're going to do something different, I think Einstein had a comment about that.
Yeah.
You know, doing the same thing, expecting different results is the definition of insanity.
Well, you're absolutely right, and insanity has really come to bear very strongly in most of our government situations, and that's why we from Washington, D.C. at the Congressional Prayer Conference, that's why we pray for our nation, and that's why we do everything we can to stand for righteousness, especially against the brutal, barbaric treatment of women and children, or anybody for that matter. That's why we stand against it. But go ahead with your report.
Well, I have headlines from around the world concerning Islam.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not Catholic. Never have been. I have a lot of friends that are Catholic. But I'm beginning to have a major problem with the hope that they have right now.
Yeah, I agree.
He is calling for structured training on engaging Muslims, and I understand the surface context of that.
Yeah, right.
But he has also gone off the deep end and stated that God is not divine. He's made that statement.
Well, brother, that again, there goes that insanity with a capital R, i.e. religious insanity. And that's exactly what's happened to the Pope. I'm very concerned about his mental stability and physical stability at this point, because I think he's absolutely gotten senile.
I don't understand that particular stand, that God is not divine. Yet in the same sentence, he states that he is the creator of life. How do you be the creator of life and not be divine?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
All life. Even stated of all life. And you just got to, beat your head up against the wall and wonder where's he coming from?
Yeah.
It does not make any sense at all.
I agree.
Charlie Rangel made what I call a racist comment, calling white people crackers.
Yeah.
And he uses this, excuse me, he called it he thought it was a term of endearment. Now, if I called him a dirty N-word, would he consider that a term of endearment? I don't think he would. He knew what he was saying. I mean, Randall's old, and, he may not be playing with a full deck, but he knew what he was saying.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Well, brother, tell our listening audience how they can listen to your show, when it's on, and how they can get it. And, of course, folks, as you know, our 559-592-5961 is the phone number to call in on Roger's show as well as this show. And, of course, we have other numbers, but he has that number for his show. He does a show. One of the things that we were forced to do, we were getting so much valuable information on my 1 hour program and using it, and we still do, but at the same time, we felt it was necessary for protecting our show a little bit, but at the same time to give him his own show. So he has a 1-hour show on Crusade Radio, and you go to crusaderadio.com, and if you want to call him, you can reach him at 559-592-5961. And Brother Roger, tell him when your program is on, would you please?
Yeah, my program is on Tuesday afternoons at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time.
Amen.
It's called the American Intelligence Briefing Hour.
Now, also, I know that I receive in my email box on a daily basis, or if not daily, almost daily, quite often, a report, the National Intelligence Briefing Report. Tell them how to get that report in their own email.
They can go to my website at www.restorefreespeech.org and follow the link. About halfway down on the home page, there's a link to go to the American Intelligence Briefing Report. And there is a charge for this. It's not very much. It's $7.50 a month. But with that, you get a minimum of 20 intelligence reports every month. And they're 9 pages, 11 pages long. I go through 450 emails a day in compiling them, so that you don't have to. I do all the work and you get all the benefits from it.
Amen. And Brother Roger, we have several sources that we promote very prolifically, and that is, first of all, ChristianNewsWire.com, and also your program as well. And we certainly want to continue to honor you and thank you. Hold on just a minute. Do we have a caller on the line?
Yes, you certainly do have a caller on the line.
Well, who is the caller on the line? We have. Hang on just a minute, Peter. I have Brother Roger Angus on with us. Roger, anything else you'd like to share before you go?
That's all I have for today. Well, that's not all I have for today.
That's the pertinent part. And we thank you. Thank you for that. And as you know, we're on again tonight at 5 o'clock California time. You're always welcome. I always welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our International Intelligence Briefing Officer. And you look at those words. International means around the world. Intelligence means investigative of all aspects. Intelligence briefing officer, and he is indeed a gentleman and an officer. Pastor Roger Angus, thank you so much for your report. We'll be looking forward to listening in to your program. And ladies and gentlemen, please listen in. Tell them again what time it is. It's on Mountain Time at what time?
It's at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on afternoons.
All right, and that's on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have a great, great day. And keep up the good work, and keep us posted. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Angus, the International Intelligence Briefing Officer for the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. Thank you, Roger. God bless.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor.
All right, I have one of my correspondents. One of the ways that we are able to get you good programs, folks, is because I have kids and grandkids in Hollywood, and they have this statement in Hollywood, this little cliche that says the show must go on. And so wherever we're at, we do the show. Sometimes to the chagrin of others around us, but we do the show. And that's one of the reasons why our shows are so good. Another reason that our shows are so good is that I have several very capable, godly men and women around the world that are correspondents for the Wiley Drake Show. And I have one of those on with me, I believe, right now. Is this correspondent Peter Maxson?
Yes, sir. It most certainly is, Pastor.
Well, God bless you, my brother. Do you have a report or a question, or what do you have?
Yes, Yes, I do. One of the top stories that we are following happened in New York City yesterday, and the first thing I'd like to do is give kudos to the fire department that operates in New York City. These guys, Pastor, they just go above and beyond the call of duty. One of the top stories coming out of New York City happened at the brand new World Trade Center building, which reaches 1,700 feet up into the air. Two window washers, and for some unknown reason, they are doing their investigation. For some unknown reason, one of the cables let go on the scaffolding that they were on, and they dangled for 2 hours on the 68th floor of the brand new World Trade Center building.
Oh my goodness.
And this is news that was reported around the globe. Firemen, there were over 100 firemen that participated in the rescue. They actually came up with a backup plan and got on the very, very top of the building and lowered ropes to these two window washers. And one of the ropes had a two-way radio as well as a cell phone so that they were able to call their families, because they didn't know if they were ever going to see their families again.
My goodness.
And the New York City Fire Department used diamond cutters to cut through the glass. They were able to cut a 8-foot by 4-foot section of glass out of the side of the building on the 68th floor and pull them in through the window that they had cut out.
Well, we certainly rejoice with that good news that it ended good and that they did not perish. It could have been a lot different, of course. And ladies and gentlemen, Peter Maxant, the correspondent for the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C., giving us a breaking news story there from New York. And as most of you know, even though I pastor a church here in Buena Park, California, my personal church, my personal religious church, is in Harlem at the Outlaw World Missionary Church, and my pastor, Dr. James David Manning, is also there in New York, and so my heart is in New York, and in many ways. And thank you, Brother Peter. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I would just like to say that, boy, if you ever meet a fireman from New York City, I would suggest saluting them. They just did an incredible job at rescuing these two guys. Both of them had 20 years experience each on the job. The last year, according to news sources, on another building, apparently a cable had snapped and one window washer fell to his death and the other one was almost close to it. So we're just happy and glad that yesterday everything turned out well.
If you'd like to be on with us, you're welcome. Otherwise, call me back after 10.
There were over 100 firemen involved in this rescue and saving these two guys. The story ended well, and I just wanted to report that to our listening audience. I had known a whole bunch of what had happened until I did my investigation this morning into some news articles, so I'm going to leave it at that and tell you God bless you, Pastor, and that's about it.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter, and God bless.
All righty, and we will talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
So the head will only justify. They had justified
All right, folks, that was our correspondent, Peter Maxson. We only have about 8 minutes left in this program. If you'd like to call us, you're welcome to call us on that correspondent number, and that correspondent number is 202-747-4839. And if you'd like to call that, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to try to get Crusade Radio back up for us, but I'm getting a busy tone, and we'll go off that in just for a moment, see if we can get back up here before we go off, to at least be able to say goodbye to Crusade Radio. And we're going to...
Right when we think we're about to get it, guess what? It gets bigger. We reset your goals and make it bigger. Because we're talking about right here, so the vision's so big. When we talk about right or wrong, you get stuck.
Okay, we're getting Crusade Radio back again, and we'll be back on the air with them. Thank you, Crusade Radio. We're sorry you got bumped off. As soon as y'all pray for me, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to Verizon to try to get my phone doctored. My phone is pulling sickies on me and disconnecting you folks. And to those of you who maybe got disconnected today or could not get through, I apologize profusely, and please forgive us. When we go on location, it's always a little bit difficult, but nonetheless, we try to do it. Because as we said before, in reference to my kids and grandkids in Hollywood that say the show must go on, we want to continue to do the show when and wherever we can. Brother Roger Angus does it from an undisclosed location as the intelligence briefing officer. He was able to be on with us today, and we thank the Lord for that. Now, I'm going to try before we leave the air today to see if I can get Brother Pat Mahoney. They did a very special event yesterday, and I'm going to try to get Pat Mahoney if I can. And, in Washington, D.C. And Reverend Pat Mahoney is a brother in the Lord and a great mighty man of God, and we're going to try to reach him.
Mahoney, please leave a message and he will get back to you as soon as he can. Thank you and God bless. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Pat, this is Pastor Wiley Drake. Thank you so much for what you folks did yesterday there at your prayer vigil. We would love to have a post report from you or anyone that was at the vigil. As you know, we do our shows at noon and at 8 p.m. We're wrapping up the noon show right now, but we will be on tonight at 8 p.m., and we would encourage you to give us a call. Call us on the 202 number, and we'd love to get a post report on the Reverend Patrick Mahoney and the prayer vigil that was held November the 12th at 7 p.m. on Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, just across from Lafayette Park, there near the White House. Please call us tonight between 8 and 9. We'd love to have a report, love to hear a praise report from the Reverend Patrick Mahoney. God bless you, my friend, and have a great, great day. All right, folks, we were leaving a message there from Reverend Patrick Mahoney. They did he said it's critical that Christians and Muslim voices stand together in solidarity to condemn the violence of ISIS and encourage the Obama administration to ensure religious minorities, women, and children are being helped and protected. The Reverend Patrick Mahoney, director of the Christian Defense Coalition in Washington, D.C., and we thank the Lord for that. I'm going to try to call my co-director before we go off the air here and see if I can get him on the line with us. Let me see.
He doesn't tolerate things. Why is that pure religion? That's religion. That's bullshit.
Well, I'm not seeing his number, but I'll try it on this phone, see if I can get him on this phone.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to add a call. And Dr. Clyde Rivers is the co-chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference. I'm going to try to reach him if I can, and for two reasons. Number one, just to say hello and to invite him to Mayor's Prayer Breakfast.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get Dr. Rivers on the line with us. And we're trying to reach Dr. Clyde Rivers. He's the co-chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference in Washington, D.C. Very busy man, so that may be why we're not able to get him. Dr. Rivers, are you there? Okay, doesn't look like he's there, and we'll go ahead and hang that up. Well, we also hung up Crusade Radio, and I apologize for that, but it's time for us to go off now on Crusade Radio anyway, and so we will indeed be off, and we'll be going off here in just a few minutes as well. May the Lord bless you. May God give you a great, great day, and may God help you as you try to do the best you can to serve Him. I want to remind you that the theme for this program is Do Justice, Love Mercy, and Walk with God, based on the authority of God's holy and righteous Word. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for being a part of the Wiley Drake Show. Remember, we'll be back at 5 p.m. tonight. That's 8 p.m. there in the nation's capital. That's up in the Colorado Mountains area, Mountain Time. That'll be at 6 p.m. Then over in the Texas area for our Texas friends, the Central Time Zone there in Minneapolis, where we had our brother on with us a while ago, that will be at 7 p.m. And as I said, 8 p.m. in Washington, D.C. My name is Wiley Drake. If you'd like to send me an email, my email is Wiley, W-I-L-E-Y, Wiley, at att.net. And if you'd like to call me, you can reach me on two phone numbers. One is 714-865-8132. The other is my Washington, D.C. number, and that is 202-747-4839. Good day. God bless you. And remember, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. Good day, and God bless.